Hey everyone, and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be talking about how to position our sprites in the Atari 2600. So stick around for that. Alright, so let's get to it. And just to let something know is that the Atari 2600 is really a primitive device, if you will, since we can't really set a position to it. So we can set position X or Y or set some kind of translate into the object so it can move it. We actually have to manually tell the Atari 2600 ourselves when to put the sprites over here. And before we got into that, we have our code as always. I split it up, just repeat 192 lines just for the sake of demonstration. And I added this player data field over here. It's supposed to represent the ship. So first, let's start how you set up how you place our sprites vertically up or down. And that's pretty easy. You just start drawing at exactly scan lines that we want. So for example, let me split this one more time over here. 1, copy this, just 7. Actually 7 up top. 7 and 1. And for it to assemble over here, of course I need to first turn on our sprite. So let's turn on our ball since it's easier. I know that, so let's load 0. So we're setting a value to enable the ball, and then I'm setting 0 to disable. So now let's get that right. Oh, there it is. It works perfectly. Oh, okay. And for okay. And I know the A is still 0. I'll leave it there for demonstration. So if I wanted to move this ball for whatever value, let's just increase this for, let's say 11, and this is 80. And let's assemble, and it should be a little bit down. Let's just make it a little bit more pronounced. So let's say it's 41 and this is 40. And here it is. I move exactly 40 scan line or pixels down. Then I drew the balls, and then this is the rest of our scan lines that I won't be drawing. So that's pretty much how you move up and down. And it's way easier to work with a loop, but I just want to go over that on the next episode for sure. Gonna go over the loop, how to use the decrement loop instead of our comparison that I've been using. But I'll use that next time. But that's pretty much how you set up how you position your sprite vertically. You just, at the exact scan line that we want, we're gonna turn on our graphics card, and that's when it's gonna start drawing. So right over here, so even if I change a little bit more, let's say 81, so it needs to be 100. And here it is all the way down here. So that's how you move vertically. So that's pretty much easy, if you will, easier. So now let's do our, so I think there's 8 sides over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8. So that's gonna be 86. This is 8. So now let's load X of 0 over here. It's gonna be our counter. And you're gonna start A with, what is it, player cap? No, it's lower. You can plus player. Okay, player and X. Then you're gonna Oh, actually, we're gonna load player, and then you're gonna start that value into your, oops, G graphics player 0. Then we're gonna increment X, and it's gonna be 9 times, and then we're gonna turn it off over here. So let me check how that works. And here it is, my spaceship-ish sprite, if you will. So that's that. So we know if I wanted to move it vertically, I just set an exact location of the scan line. So this is location 0, so it's all the way at the top. And now we wanted to move it vertically, not vertically, horizontally, on the left to right. So here I have my sprite data, and now I'm gonna jump into the scanline diagram to show you guys how that works. Okay, so here we have our diagram one more time. So let me bring my draw tool over here. Oh, perfect. And what's a color we don't have over here? Let's say blue. I don't see blue over here, so it's gonna be easier to draw. So here is our diagram one more time, and we know how to set up a vertical position. So for example, if I want to draw this barrel over here, this scan line is going from here, this awful, retracing, and go forth. So it's going from left to right, but that's 1 pixel at a time. Actually, let me draw an arrow over here. That's a bigger arrow. So it's drawing over here. That's the first pixel, resetting, and the next pixel going to zigzag pattern. It's our electron beam. So as soon as we reach our barrel over here, for example, so we have our barrel here, and we wanted to draw right over here, or up and down, we said enable graphics or ball or player whatsoever. So that's how we draw vertically, like I said before. However, to draw from horizontally, from left to right, we actually have to wait to the scan beam to reach a certain position. So for example, if I want this to position my sprite right where this barrel is, let's say the barrel is my sprite, I want to position right over there, I have to let the electron beam crosses over the horizontal blank all the way over here, and then set the position for our barrel right over here. However, I don't necessarily need to do it right over here. Normally I could put right for somewhere over here. Let's say right over here, and then I have and then this is gonna be, wow, this is way off. Let me try this over here. Let's say it's this big at least, for demonstration's sake. So I'm all the way over here, my vertical blank. I set my special register, the reset player or ball, whatever, reset the sprite at this location over here. Don't mind the actual size. So as soon as I hit over here, I'll say reset player 0, for example, over here. Let's say this player 0, and then this is gonna be set as our location for player 0. And since by default our player 0 is already loaded to 0, nothing's gonna draw over here. So we're drawing over here fine. So it's not ignore. So the electro beam is not gonna draw over here until we enable or set our player graphics or ball or whatsoever. So as soon as we tell it, as soon as we're here on our scan line, so like I said, it's going in a zigzag pattern, all the way around, from left to right, and then it's gonna go on the next pixel over here, then it's gonna go to the next pixel, and so forth. And as soon as we get into this, let me just, approximation is not really the actual thing. So as soon as we hit this location over here, where we want our barrel to be, we're gonna enable that sprite over there. So it's gonna draw right over here. Oops, it's too big. Let me go back. It's gonna draw right over here. Well, I can't even do that right over there. So it's gonna draw this, and after we all set with this, we're gonna set it to 0. So we don't want it to draw anymore, and I can't keep. So right over here. So this is where, for example, my sprite that I have for my ship is gonna be. So we're gonna load, and then it's not gonna. Then it's all 0. But that's where our sprite location is. So in order to actually move an object to the X location and a Y location over here, we have to set our X position and then wait to the scan line. Well, first have to wait to the scan line to get to the exact X position that we want. Then we set to reset player, and then it's gonna scan. So just make sure we set that before this barrel comes, so it can be anywhere. I just put it over here because it's essentially easier. So we wait to the location that exactly want vertically to be, and we turn it on, we draw it, and so forth. So that's how we set our position for a sprite on an X or a Y axis. So let's get back to the code. Alright, so back to our code. Let me assemble over here just to show you guys that I have my spaceship and we want to move left to right. And to do that, the easiest way to demonstrate would be to just leap some cycles. So this leap to the scan beam reach a certain position that we want. So let's do it right over here. Right over here. Since WSync is already reset, let's leap for 25 cycles? No, 25 machine cycles. And 25 times 2. No, not times 2, times 3. Each one of this is going to be equivalent to a NOP, or between 2 cycles, between 2 and probably one more. It's going to NOP vsync. It's going to actually give like kind of like a tree no operation. That's what NOP is. So it's going to be 25 machine cycles, if you will. And then after those 25 machine cycles, which is times 3 is 75 of the TIA, you're going to store whatever value into the reset player 0. And just to demonstrate how it works, and here it is. It was all the way over there, and just to make a big contrast over here, we move a little bit more over here. So that's how it worked. We are waiting for the scan line to get here. It is a position 0 where we want. So here, left and Y is already set, and we tell it to draw, and that's how it works. So we just sleep for X amount, and then we start to reset player 0. And if you come over here, you'll see reset player 0, and all of this dashes over here means we take whatever value. So it doesn't matter what we have. As soon as we start any kind of value, that's where that's what we call, if you see on the Stella menu, the strobe. As soon as you write it, it's gonna work right away. So it's gonna set a special timer to the reset player, the actually player location on the X axis over here. And that's the gist of it. That's how it works. And of course, we don't want something like this. We want something to, because we don't have a set number of NOPs. Well, we could work around it, but I'm sure you guys could. But we want something easier to work with. So let's make a simple loop. So I'm gonna create a loop label. We want a counter, so let's load Y, I guess. I don't have to use Y. To the amount of times we want to loop. And or I can do 0 and then increment it. But generally, let's start with a good habit since we're gonna use decrement. So we're gonna decrement X, or not X, Y. And then we're gonna branch while it's not x0 to loop. And then why did I delete that? Did I delete? Let's start gr set player 0. So actually let's do something lower, 5 or something, and let's assemble and see it move. So if I put 7 over here, you move a little bit further. So let me go actually assemble this and show you guys what's happening on our debugger over here. Here it is. So run to command line. So we have our cycles at 0. Push it over here. So wsync load takes due value over here, but what we want to focus is this decrement y and branch. So this decrement takes 2 cycles and this branch takes generally 3 cycles or 2 cycles. This is generally 5 cycles altogether. So every time I'm doing one loop over here is equivalent to 5 cycles. And if you notice, actually let me run back to back over here. Load this with 5, which would be this exact same thing would happen if you use this. Not exactly, it'll be a little bit position different. Let me stack this one on top of the other just to show you. So even though one is 5 and the other one is 6, there's a 15 pixel gap between those two. So that is because, let me close this. More assemble over here. Let's go back to your loop. Right over here, run over here. So that's 0. And right over here, for every 1 machine cycle is equivalent to 3 TIE clock cycles. So even though this is going 5 each iteration, and it's adding our scanline 5 times, TIE clocks at least, we're actually moving 15 pixels at a time. So it's a bit chunky, if you will. It's a bit jagged. Probably in the next video I'll go over how to do this fine position pixel by pixel, but for now in this video I'm going to stick with this pixel skipping method for teaching this way. And of course, if I had used the knob, which takes generally 2 cycles, it will be a jump of 6 pixels, because it takes 6 TA cycles to each of these skips. So remember, each TA cycle corresponds to 1 pixel on the Atari 2600. So, and to demonstrate that a little bit better, let's make it loop for a while. So let's set set.u, let's give it a name, variables, and we're gonna put the location 80. If you remember, that's where RAM starts. Let's set a counter, assign space, make sure it's a byte, we don't need it, automatic default is 0, 1 space, and set it to 0, initialize it to 0. And you can put .b just to, if you want, just to make sure. So let's come over here and just load y with counter. And if I were to run this all the way on top over here, where am I? Where is load RAM location? Right over here. It's 0. Step, won't recommend. So it's branching forever over here. And let's just increment counter after done over here. Right over here, why not? Increment counter. Just to show you guys it looping. And there it is. It's actually moving from left to right. And as you see, even over here, it's a little bit, you can notice this 15 pixels jump that we have over here. That's my spaceship going super fast. But that's gonna be it for this video. Probably in the next video, I probably either go find position or probably go over some tools that we can use. I found some tools to help for Sprite and our playfield. So it's gonna be either one of those two. But that's gonna be it for this video. And thanks for watching. See you guys then.